So we have a new standard, and our new standard is basically using numbers expressed in the form of a single digit times an integer power of 10 to estimate very large or very small quantities and to express how many times as much one is than the other. So our objective is I can write large and small numbers in scientific notation. I can convert numbers in scientific notation to standard form. So today we are just looking at writing large and small numbers in scientific notation. So you need to be able to create a number between 1 and 10, and you need to be able to understand how to move decimals and in which direction, depending upon whether the number is large. They're larger than 1 or smaller than 1. Okay, so scientific notation. So we're looking at what scientific notation is. Scientific notation is a shorthand way of really writing large or really small numbers. Okay, so you have large, very small numbers. Okay, so you would have, you're looking at 750 million. That is a very large number. That is not something as a scientist that you want to write a whole lot. A very small number would look like this. That would be a very small number. Okay? So scientific notation is written as a product, and remember product is multiplication, of two numbers. The first number must be between 1 and 10, and the second number must be the power of 10. So scientific notation, if you took this number here, it would look something like this. Or if you took this number here, it would look like this. So this large number, we have 7.5 times 10 to the 5th power, 750 million, and 0.00000018. You would write as 1.8 times 10 to the negative 7th power. So when we're converting standard to scientific, so this is a standard number. And this is a standard number. This is a standard number. So when we take a standard number, we're going to create a number between 1 and 10. By moving the decimal. So we're going to create a number between 1 and 10 by moving the decimal. And we all know that the decimal in this is right here. The decimal in this number is right here. So we're going to count the number of times that you move the decimal. And this will be your power of 10. So if you have a number that is greater than 1, the exponent will be positive. This is a perfect example. This is a positive exponent. If the number is less than 1, the exponent will be negative. Just like this exponent right here is negative. So, looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to complete the following problems. So number 1 asks me to convert the number to scientific notation. So I have 1,850,000. So my first question to myself is going to be, is the number greater than 1 or smaller? Okay. My second question is so let's go ahead and look at the first question. I have 1,850,000. Well, that is greater than 1. Okay. So my second question, or my second thing I need to do, is create a number between 1 and 10. So I'm going to create a number between 1 and 10. Well, a number between 1 and 10 would be 1.85. That is a number between 1 and 10. So that goes back to my third task question is, how many times do I move the decimal to create your number between 1 and 10? Well, my decimal was here at the end, and my decimal needs to move to the right. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to create a number between 1 and 10. So I'm going to say 1.85 times 10 to the 6th power. So looking at number 2, we have 42,000. Is the number greater or smaller than 1? So since the number is greater than 1, we're going to create a number between 1 and 10. So my number between 1 and 10 would be 4.2. So how many times did I move my decimal to the right? I moved it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So my new number in scientific notation is going to be 4.2 times 10 to the 4th power. So looking at 3, we're writing this number in scientific notation, and I notice that I have a decimal. Well, a decimal is always less than 1, so my number is smaller than 1. So now, to create a number between 1 and 10, I have to look in this direction. So I'm going to come to my first number, which is going to be 7, and I would put a decimal behind 7, 7.826, because that is a number between 1 and 10. Well, if my decimal was here, how many times did I move my decimal? I moved it 1, 2, 3 places. So I'm going to end up with times 10, and because the number is less than 1, I'm going to have a negative exponent. 7.826 times 10 to the negative 3rd power. So, 4. Well, is this number greater or smaller than 1? So this number is smaller than 1. So that means I'm looking at going to the left, from right to left, to find a number between 1 and 10. Well, what is my number between 1 and 10? Okay, so my number between 1 and 10 is 1. So how many times did I move the decimal? Well, my decimal is here, and I moved my decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So I'm going to write times 10 to the negative 5th power because it is less than 1, therefore it is a negative exponent. Okay, we're going to skip this page. Don't mark it out. We're going to come back and do it after we do this video, okay? I want to practice more on writing numbers from standard form to scientific form. So we're going to skip this page. We're going to skip 5, 6, 7, and 8 because we I haven't taught you how to take it from scientific to standard yet. So we're going to go ahead and skip 5, 6, 7, and 8, but we will come back to it. Okay, so we're going to look at 9. It says complete the missing blanks in the table. So we're only going to look at this one, and this one. So this is practice. So we need to take this standard notation of 5,820,000, and we need to write it in scientific notation. So my first question to myself is the number greater than 1 or less than 1? Well, this number is greater than 1. So I'm going to create a number between 1 and 10. So what is my number between 1 and 10 going to be? Well, my number between 1 and 10 is going to be 5.82. Rewrite that a little bit neater. Okay, so 5.82. So how many times did I move my decimal to create this number between 1 and 10? Well, I moved it how many times? Well, it looks like I moved it 6 times. So I would have 5.82 times 10 to the 6th power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let you do 1200 and 0.0015 on your own. So 1200 written in scientific notation would be 1.2 times 10 to the 3rd power. And 0.0015 written in scientific notation is going to be 1.5 times 10 to the negative 3rd power. Okay, now take these notes. We're going to come back to the converting scientific to standard after this video, and we're going to go to an activity to practice writing from standard notation to scientific notation. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me.